Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in today. So, in the interest of time and respecting those of you who joined us on time, I'll get started with this session. Some of you are already my student and know me and my firm very well. For others, my name is Surbhi Kumar, and I am the founder and chief mentor of the Dream Catchers. We are an education consulting firm based out of Mumbai, India, and we have been serving students pan India and across the globe. Our mission is quite simple and straightforward that we really want to assist students in realizing their dream of obtaining quality and best fit education. So, I would like to take this opportunity to briefly talk about our services so that you know how we really help realize our mission and how we really help students. So, primarily for students who are progressing in grade ninth and 10th, their biggest dilemma is and I would say for the majority is that which stream to take, which subject combinations to take. And these days we are dealing with problem of plenty, and it's a good problem to have. So that's where we try to do hand holding with the students. And once they progress to grade 11th and 12th, of course there is a need to kind of shortlist the right subject combination, but the most pertinent need becomes in terms of choosing the right course or courses and which colleges to apply to. We help students in terms of our admission guidance or consultation, both for Indian universities, and I would specifically call out the new age universities, which have the holistic admission process, and overseas across the globe. So we help in terms of creating a strategy as well with the students. Now you can also see we have listed down a lot of our services, starting from as basic as a psychometric assessment test, which we really decide on case to case basis whether we should be administering that on a student or not. And then of course, our higher end services in terms of even the best fit college mapping, if the student needs assistance in terms of creating their SOPs, personal statements, and essay prompts as well, right? How to go about it. So let me make it clear that it's a guidance. We don't write it for the students, but we help them with the right framework where they can put their most authentic voice and create a most compelling applications for the admissions officers to consider. With that, I would just want to get into the session, but would want to set some basic housekeeping rules so that we have an effective conversation. So it's a request, just please keep your mic muted all the time. If you have a question and if that's something which you would want to ask, please put it in the chat box. You will also get an opportunity to ask it live to Chitra, who is our guest speaker for the day. And you can raise your virtual Zoom hand, and I will enable your settings so that you can ask the questions live. If time permits, we will also take or keep aside like 5-10 minutes dedicated for the Q&A, but keep sending your questions through my curated questions. I'm confident that many of your queries would get answered, but I'll try to bake in your questions while I'm asking Chitra the curated questions from our side. With that, let me first set the context or tone of the session today. So, of course, if you are joining this session, there is some curiosity or there is some inclination towards being in the law profession, right? So, as you can see on the screen, law has broad specialization, starting from business commercial law, or also known as corporate law, to litigation, which is more civil and criminal law, and beyond that as well. Property and real estates, people focused practice, which is like immigration law or human rights law, intellectual property law, tax and estate law, government, public, and international law, law specifically focused on health and sciences, and like other niche areas like sports law. Okay, but today we would want to bring attention to one of the specific specializations, which is intellectual property law. And my next slide would actually tell you why we wanted to bring focus onto the IP law as a career track itself. So as you can see on the screen, there is a lot of data, but I will try to highlight a few things or few stats. If you see the global patenting activity, it has really grown 5% in 2024. But what to call out is now in terms of the IP law firms market size, right? It's almost like 13 billion, but it is expected to almost double in another 9-10 years. And if you see China, India, South Korea, Japan, they are driving this growth particularly. If I come to the sectors, particularly from where IP practice is getting most traction, software or technology, it accounts for 38%. Next is the pharmaceutical sector, which accounts for 22%. Now, because of the volume in AI related patents, semiconductor industry, and biotech, this is the fastest growing category within the IP filings itself. If we specifically talk about, how does it boil down to the job market itself, right? So if you see total, and specifically about India, if you see the total patent which were sanctioned are actually grown phenomenally, right? So if we can dive deeper into the data, but it is for this reason that while I was reading about it, it caught my attention that this is an area which needs attention from high schoolers and even college students or someone who is aspiring for law, because the most common one which I have heard is like, corporate law or being in litigation or judiciary. But law has, as we have seen, so many other specializations. So today we are going to talk about career of an intellectual property lawyer, and we have with us Chitra Arvind, who is our guest speaker for the day. She is founding partner at Accures IP Care. So I would like to really welcome you, Chitra, to our today's session. Really looking forward to the conversation with you.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind introduction. And thank you for the introduction about the dream catchers. Good to know.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So maybe what we can get started with is if you can really help our audience understand what is your current role at Accures IP Care, and how would you like really describe this firm? What do you really do in greater detail?
As of now, I'm a partner in Accures IP Care. A partner means a founding person. Okay, there are different types of organizations. Some of them are company. Okay, some of them are firms, and some of them are public sectors. So I run a firm. Firm means 2 or 3 professionals who come together and run the firm. Mostly, if you see doctors, CAs, and lawyers who are professionals run firms. So my firm is focusing on intellectual property law, and it is consisting mostly of attorneys and people who have science background. We help other people protect patents, copyrights, trademarks, designs, do some contracts, do some work on protecting filmy Ghana, suing remake people.
Got it. Got it. So, and your firm is based out of Gurgaon. Am I correct? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So, Chitra, I am particularly curious to know, like, how did you really found your way into this field? What was your educational background and career journey, which finally led you to this particular area of law?
Thank you, Sudhi, for asking this. I come from a generation which is much before, and my teenage daughter says that I'm Gen Dino. I don't know, maybe we are dealing with Gen Zs and X, and I don't know, millionaires and whoever who are sitting here. See, we did not have anything called as career counseling or dream catchers during our day. So we had to build our dreams. Okay. So I'll start with a very pragmatic and a truthful answer. Okay. So I was very interested in medical. Okay. At that point, there was no NEET. Okay. There was I was from a South Indian state. Out of 300, I got 292 marks. Okay. But because of reservation, I could not get in. Okay. In spite of having 292 out of 300.
Okay.
So I chose pharmacy, but I learned to like pharmacy.
Okay.
I was a gold medalist in pharmacy. At that point, there was one institution called National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, NIPER. Okay. Of which I was the second batch. Okay. At that point, the interest was, the entrance exam was not common. I went all the way to Chandigarh with few words of Hindi. Okay. So I managed to clear that, and I got out as a gold medalist from my MS Pharmacy. And I also did my PhD there. While doing my PhD, I decided, oh no, research is so boring. Okay. So I thought what to do. So that was in Chandigarh, and that's just behind the Mohali Cricket Stadium. So there is also a Punjab University in Chandigarh where they were running MBA classes of IGNOU. So every Saturday and Sunday, I did MBA from IGNOU on marketing. Okay. So I went for a techno-commercial job while most of my friends went for a postdoc. Okay. So staying in the techno-commercial job, I was handling intellectual property rights portfolio because it was a pharmaceutical company. At that point, I met one of my founder partners, and one of my founder partners at that point was in one of the very big law firms. I used to interact with him as a client. Okay, got it. I told him one day, I want to try what you're doing. Okay. So he said, already you're MBA, already you're a doctor. There is no need for you to try all this. Okay. So, but I said, no, I want to try anyway. So he said, okay, take a 6-month sabbatical from your company and come. Okay. So I took the 6-month sabbatical and I went there. When I went there, so in 6 months, you have to clear patent agent. That's another exam to sign. Okay. Otherwise, you cannot sign the documents. I don't like somebody else signing my documents. So I took the exam and I cleared it in the first attempt. Nice. Okay. So I joined the firm and I left my old corporate job, even though it was low paying every time. Every time, against all career counseling, I have gone to a job which is lower paying than my previous job. Okay. I stayed there. Okay. At the time, they said you can be a partner only when you finish your law. I was married. I had a baby. When my baby was 8 months old, I started learning law, and I did law for 3 years, 30 papers. Of course, I must thank my husband and my family for all the support. But then I did that. At that point, I wanted to try litigation. Okay. So I went to the courts and I fought for litigation, and most of these are like most of the pharma cases carry my name. So then you get younger and my daughter gets older. So I decided I want to do a desk job. So at that point, my gentleman, the earlier boss, he started the firm and he called me. See, unlike what many people talk about entrepreneurship, in entrepreneurship is not so very rosy. It's nice. But then you pay everybody before taking what you want. So most of my career changes have been with a lot of pleasure. I wouldn't say a lot of money.
Got it. No, I think thank you so much for giving a peek into your journey. And I think one message which I get from your journey is like if you are open-minded, curious, and determined, you can create your own way as well, right? So maybe against all odds too. So thank you so much for that. But now it makes me curious to ask you one question. Given you had pharma background, right? So of course, the domain which you had plus the law combination is is it helping you or placing you at an advantage given your current role and current firm as such? Can I say that?
Yes, it does. There are different forms of intellectual property rights.
Correct.
Okay? So one is patents. Patents mean we protect anything which has a invention, which is a
Mm-hmm.
solution to a technical problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then there is trademarks. Trademarks means any name or symbol which gets associated with any goods or services.
Mm-hmm.
For
Mm-hmm.
instance, like McDonald's, the M, okay, the
Mm-hmm.
name Nike, Adidas, so on. Okay, then there is copyright, which protects, expression of ideas like art, music, okay, pictures, paintings, literary work. There is design, which protects the 2D shape and structure. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
coming back to your original question, whether, my pharma helps me, as I said, in the different facets of intellectual property right, patent is niche. In patents, because we are always going to give technical solutions to a problem, your
Mm-hmm.
technology helps you. So
Got it.
most of my clients are pharmaceutical companies. But I
Got it.
also have colleagues and friends who are from engineering background,
Mm-hmm.
who are from, like, say, polymer chemistry, who are from
Mm-hmm.
biotechnology. They
Mm-hmm.
handle biotechnological inventions or engineering inventions, or there are software engineers. They handle such. So,
Got it.
a technical degree is very essential to handle patents, but it is not needed for other facets of intellectual property rights like trademarks, copyrights, or designs.
Okay, okay. So if just to elaborate on your point and make sure that I have understood it correctly and our audience has also understood it correctly. So someone who is really working on with say an IT firm for their IT patents, it's essential that they have some kind of domain knowledge in the field of technology, but
Correct,
not for other IP specializations as such. Okay.
correct.
Okay, so of course, with that response, you have answered two of my other questions, which is what I wanted the audience to know more about what IP law is and what are the specializations. So that's already answered. But let me ask you another question. In a way, if someone decides to do law degree straight after school, okay, and of course then do LLM also, they do not have domain expertise, okay. Is it that they cannot really function within the patent department of a IP law firm, or are there any other roles in which they can still contribute?
I would like to answer this a little differently. It is
Okay,
still
sure.
possible
Mm-hmm.
because when you take law, many NLUs, National Law Universities, are nowadays answering three type of LLBs: BA LLB, BCom LLB, and BSc LLB.
Mm-hmm.
So
Correct.
if you take BSc LLB and your undergraduate is BSc, you can very well function on the science
Patent
patent
side.
documents.
Got it.
Of
Okay.
course, but when you go to higher levels, people do ask for, understanding of their science. But to begin with, it is good. And the rest of the children, I do have few children from NLU Jodhpur who are BSc LLB, and I
Okay.
really find them sharp enough to pick up the science. That's
Okay.
not a problem.
Okay.
Second way is also another way. There is IIT Kharagpur.
Mm-hmm.
IIT Kharagpur is offering BTech LLB. Okay, so once you finish BTech, it can be in pharmacy, it can be in engineering and other places. And after that, you do your LLB. Until you do your LLB, you cannot register in the Bar Council of India. But
Mm-hmm.
people I know do BTech and then do LLB. IIT Kharagpur candidates are one of the most sought after candidates because their science is good since they've completed their BTech. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then you also have an LLB. There is also a LLM there on patents law and IP law, but the BTech LLB candidates are the most sort of
Okay.
candidates.
Okay. Great. I think that's a great piece of information for our audience. Maybe just like peeling this response further, uh, would it really make a difference if someone works in that particular domain or particular industry the way you have done it and then do their law degree? Or it's more like even if they have just done the degree, which is a combination of BS, BTech, and LLB, or even like BCom as such, would that make a difference in terms of the kind of job role they might get from an entry level standpoint?
Really, no. But the
Okay.
path followed by the people who have a science degree before is a
Mm.
little different. See,
Okay.
in case of intellectual property rights, there are three kinds of jobs.
Mm-hmm.
The first job is very akin to a KPU.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
say for example, I want to make a new toothpaste. So I want to see how many other people are making toothpaste, what are the other intellectual property rights which are being made in toothpaste. Then
Mm-hmm.
that is known as a search profile or a technical analysis profile.
Okay.
There,
Okay.
if I have somebody in science, who understands the various components of toothpaste,
Mm-hmm.
they can do. There are many organizations which do that.
Okay.
Then, like a call center, you grow in those organizations.
Okay. Okay.
But people are still interested into coming back into intellectual property rights. They have to write a patent agent exam there. A
Okay.
patent agent exam can only be written if your undergraduate is in any science degree.
Okay. Okay.
So that is announced by the government of India. It is available in the websites. Okay, it gets conducted about once a year. Okay, so people get into that line and they can do drafting of patents, writing of patents only when they write the patent agent exam.
Okay.
So
Got it.
we hire many candidates who are fresh in science, but we can promote them only to the next level only when they graduate the patent agent.
Got
Now
it.
there
Okay.
is a third level of profession where you do your law and you register in any bar. Only then it is possible for you to go to the high courts to argue matters because the final litigation in any law is in the court of law.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
you can start a job either way and continue in that line. For people who simply don't have a science degree, who are BCom LLB or BA LLB, we still offer patent roles as long as
Okay.
their basic science are good, but it is very difficult for them to grow in those roles. So therefore, we offer them trademark and copyrights and designs. If you actually see the number of trademarks which get filed
Mm-hmm.
is almost 3 times than that of the patents.
Okay. Okay.
But the difference is the trademark, because a law is sufficient, it is okay for you to have in a law only and grow there. So we
Okay.
suggest the candidates who do not have a science background to choose law like IP laws like trademarks and designs and copyrights.
Okay, okay. I think this is a good segue to my next question, which is around if you can give some perspective into what is the day-to-day responsibility of an entry-level person as soon as they graduate and they join a law firm like yours. What would be their day-to-day responsibilities? And also, given we are hearing a lot about AI impacting all different career tracks and especially in a way impacting the entry level roles, right? So, what do you see on the ground? So, if you can cover both these aspects, that would be helpful.
The entry level roles is mostly internship, paid
Okay,
internship in many places, because
okay,
any profession requires aptitude. Okay, so for that aptitude testing, most law firms, 99% will give internship. If it is a
okay,
good law firm and the candidate is like a topper, okay, and they do interviews, they get a paid internship.
okay,
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 the paid internship, you can't buy a car or a house. It will help you sustain.
okay,
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 you have to go through the grind, whether it is, law or IP law or any other facet of law. So in the one, it's about for 6 months to 1 year. In that time, we understand the child's aptitude and the child
mm,
understands whether, they like the profession. Once
okay,
that happens, then we give them more higher level of work. In the first internship, it's
hmm,
mostly introduction to various kinds of aspects, and it is a
hmm,
testing phase both
hmm,
for the organization and for the child for themselves. The child
understood.
has to look through, what is prosecution, what is litigation. We allow them to go to courts once or twice. Most child that I've seen, comes with the drama of Damini in their mind. But the courts are,
Pursuits these days.
but the court is absolutely different. Okay, so especially children who come from a good family, they are shocked to see, the court and the state of the court. But that's how it is. Okay, so we take them through the entire shock phase in the first 6 months. And if they manage to stay the shock, then we find their interest and give them the next level of.
Okay. And the second part of my question, are you seeing, so after like, maybe I should reframe it, after the internship is done, and once they formally start contributing to the organization in terms of real project, real work, how are things changing there with the advent of AI? Are you seeing the entry level job role has changed or is changing, or majority of the work is being delegated to AI? And as to this profession, this sometimes kind of like, I think a lot about it, that if entry level roles are getting impacted, how do we really create mid level professionals and senior level professionals? So what's the impact of AI which you are seeing?
CBU is AI, okay, for some checking and other things, not at the level what software industries are doing, but
Okay,
yes. And we
okay,
are protecting AI also for intellectual property rights, including patents.
okay.
And so, basic knowledge of AI, which I believe children inherently have, is
Mm,
necessary not only in this role but in every role. But with my experience in AI, what I can feel is that AI eliminates the mundane. It is
okay,
not possible for AI to give out of the box analytical thinking. Okay, so as a student, as I said, I have a teenage daughter, and what I tell her is not memorize but learn to analyze. And this analytical capability, at least from my limited opinion, is not possible for AI. So even when I see 2 or 3 children working on the same project in AI, the output is different. Not because of the different AI softwares that they are using, but because of the questions that they put to the AI.
Okay.
Okay, and AI can only answer the question. And how they bring about the answer of the question requires really good analytical capability and raw intelligence. So I really don't believe that AI is going to eliminate the entry level. It simplifies the task at the entry level. If you have to go to the highest level in any profession, your analytical capability is an absolute necessity.
I think you kind of tackled the elephant in the room these days because AI is a buzzword. And yes, it may change job roles eventually, but with every guest speaker, we try to get a on the ground reality, what's happening with AI in terms of even implementation in their current firm or current organization. So thanks for providing that answer. Now I would like to move to the next question, which is if you can give some perspective in terms of the opportunities for career advancement. How does the career grow for an IP law professional? And does it vary from the kind of practice or firm you are in?
I don't think it varies from the kinds of practice of the firm.
Okay.
So there is a lot of growth. Okay, you have to work through it, but the growth in law is a little slow. Whatever
Okay.
field you take, whether it is IP or litigation. Okay, so I think it's true for all professions also, like doctor, lawyer, and CA, because this is profession. Okay, and in the profession you have to learn. And I really think that, you can really catch your dream if you work towards it in the field of law.
Mhm.
See, different people want different things. For
Yeah.
some of them, it is the money which matters. Okay. If you become an entrepreneur, yes, the sky is the limit. Okay. But it's not going to happen like in the movie through a 3-minute song. The hero becomes from the pauper to the king. It takes time, it takes patience and perseverance, but yes, you will be there. It is similar when you can become a senior counsel also. For some sittings, you get paid in lakhs as of today.
Mhm.
But then you don't become a senior counsel at 22. Okay? You have to wait it out. It's 55, 60. So on and so forth. Any profession. There are some lawyers who I know who are not like, very rich, but who are very happy. Okay? Because they represent a lot of underprivileged people.
Okay.
Okay, whether it is IP, because there are many universities and many other places where they cannot afford very highly paid IP lawyers. Okay, we know, even we do some. Okay, that we work hardly for pittance for those people, but when we give them patent protection, so they are able to make something out of it in their lives. So it depends upon what your dream is, or maybe you
Mhm.
do a little bit of profession, you do a little bit of passion, you do a little bit of, you know, social responsibilities. That's law is a very good career to do that because you are in the French of social and intellectual and community.
Correct. No, I agree. Given you gave some glimpse in terms of like what kind of money someone may expect over time, maybe I would want to ask you a question with respect to remunerations itself, right? Uh, from an entry level professional perspective, what kind of remuneration they can expect, and maybe, of course, like careers like law, doctor, sky is the limit. But what could be their starting salary ranges? And besides remuneration, what are the other rewards which I would want to like maybe emphasize a little bit. One, I could see that there is a social satisfaction as well, but if you would want to touch upon something more. Secondly, the other side of the coin, which is always a question I ask to the guest speaker, the realistic view of what kind of challenges they can expect in a profession.
I would like to start with the challenge.
Okay.
The first challenge is patience and perseverance. Okay. It is your salary is not going to increase, in every chunk. Okay. It is going to take time, okay, and experience. That is the biggest challenge. Okay.
Okay.
The second question you asked, how is it going to be? What will be the salary in entry level or this? That's mostly determined by the capability of the person. Okay, like there are some multinationals here like BMS, Bayer, who also have in-house IP team. Okay, so as a patent attorney or even a trademark attorney, they require in-house IP counsels. So you can try to go and be an in-house IP counsel also. I know some in-house IP counsel, even at middle level, as of today, get paid like 2.5 lakhs per month, apart from all the other perks that the company offers. Okay. Then there is something known as a patent examiner. Okay, that's a government job. There is a separate examination for it, which is also true for trademark registry. There, the first paper is equal to the UPS first paper, civil services first paper.
Got it.
Okay, the second paper is equivalent to the science paper of a net.
Okay.
So it differs between engineering and pharmacy, and doctors give it to. So you can become a government servant also. Okay, so if you choose that line, you as a patent controller or a patent examiner, you have the power of a judge of a civil court. Okay, so it gives a lot of satisfaction to many people to be a part of the judicial process. Again, the pecuniary is like any other judicial authority in India, not so very high, but the power it wields is very, very high. Okay, it depends upon what you want in your life. Okay? So, if you are going to start in a law firm, so first is going to be like, minimum, if it's a paid internship or something, it's going to be only in the range of 20 to 25, which is going to allow you to stay in PG. Okay. If the candidate performs well, usually the entry salary is into 2. Okay. But it stays there unless and until the child, passes the patentation exam or clears the law or the bar, or if they are already in the bar, we have to check what is their science capability. Otherwise, I'll have to move them to trademark. Okay. Got it. And they keep growing, and that growth is usually like, once in 2 years, 15%. Okay. Unless you really pragmatically change your life in a very planned manner. Okay. Got it. And any other challenge which they should be aware of from your perspective? They have to keep learning. Okay. This job is not mundane. Every application is a challenge. Like say, for example, if you start with land laws, the principles are almost very common. Okay, here the science changes between every application. Therefore, the challenge changes between every application. So you said it's a Saturday. Thank you for spending. I can show you my files. Okay, I bought one huge set of files, which I must learn. I read, If not as much as my 12th going daughter, at least 60-70%.
Reading and like kind of being learning every day is something which is so maybe challenge or not a challenge as well, right? So uh now
It
I
depends
think
upon the person.
yes, absolutely. I think some are naturally inclined towards, reading, staying up to date with things, and some may not like that as much. Now, maybe I think you have also touched upon in a way what kind of competencies or what kind of skills might be needed. But is there anything, if I ask you, like maybe top 3 to 4 skills or competencies which a person who is looking to build a career within this particular specialization should necessarily have to really progress well or make a mark in this field?
Analysis and logical thinking,
Okay.
because the law is codified. How you present the law makes all the difference.
Mhm. Mhm. That's number one. Got
Think
it.
of
Okay,
this as number one, and maybe, continuous learning as
continuous
number
learning.
two.
Okay, got it. Uh, I would want to remind the students here if they have any questions, they can ask as well. I have received one question from Poonam. I'll respond to that one, but maybe her question actually makes me ask you one specific question, which is how can a student who is primarily in their high school or maybe just started with their college life, how can they really know that this is the path for them? Are there any, you know, kind of low risk things which they can do at this age and during their school or college journey, which can give them some kind of indication or assurance that maybe I should try this path out? Any suggestion from your side?
Yes, there is now a DIPP in India. It is a Department of IP Promotion or something, something. They
Okay.
do conduct courses as to what IP are in schools.
Okay.
Okay, I think
Okay.
maybe as an organization, if you write to them, they will really support you.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so that's one way. The other way is there is a place known as World Intellectual Property Rights Organization,
Okay.
WIPO, World Intellectual Property Rights Organization. Okay, they conduct free online courses which require about 15 or 20 hours
Okay.
online. Okay,
Okay.
so anyway, we spent a lot of time online, so we can spend for WIPO also. So you take the course, you get a certificate. Okay?
Okay.
So by the time you get a, this is what IP is about, can I, should I go with it or not? So a lot of high school students have decided for it after taking this WIPO course.
Okay, okay. That's an excellent suggestion. If there are like specific courses, then they that can give them a flavor of what it is and kind of, in a way, test drive that career in a way and see if that's the path they would want to take. So thank you so much for suggesting that.
Actually, if I may add, okay,
Sure.
some of your children go for LSAT. Okay, when your children go for LSAT, having this WIPO certification course gives uh, a lot of advantages. Okay, there is another organization who I know where children, when they go for SAT, okay, they actually give file a patent application, okay, as a choice and try.
Okay, okay. So that's something which it's like it's a new piece of information for me, but then that's also an avenue for them to get exposed to this field.
There
Okay.
is another course, MUN, where they teach about the United Nations.
Yeah, so that's the United Nations simulation kind of thing.
Yes, in the United Nations simulation, There is a school in Delhi which I know had requested through that to do a patent course.
Oh, okay, okay, got it. That's nice. And maybe I'll just now take question from uh, Poonam ji, who is a mother of a 10th grader. So she has addressed this question to me. Is it possible to extend my kid currently in 10th grade to have a hands-on experience via an internship or assignment? So, Poonam ji, we are an education consulting firm. We do not have like an internship arm, but I think with what Chitra ji has just responded, right? Maybe that may give you some avenues in terms of having your 10th grader to get exposed to IP law. But if you have any follow-up question, just let me know. And one more thing to add from my side, though it's not like a pro bono kind of thing, but there are many organizations who are creating some kind of simulations or small internships where students get to know what law is all about or being in a law firm is all about. It may not necessarily expose them to all different specializations, but it will give them again some perspective around law as a profession. So there are like private organizations who have kind of tied up with many of the law firms or practicing lawyers, and they help the kid through projects and internships as well. So that's not a pro bono thing, but there are organizations who do it. Okay. So maybe Poonamji, if you have a follow-up question or follow-up to what I just said, please go ahead and maybe write it in the chat, or if you want to ask live, I'll be happy to take it as well. Or maybe if you can just acknowledge if you got the response. Okay. Uh, yeah, got it. Thank you. So now next question to you is how have you really seen the industry or the profession kind of evolving over time? What has changed, say, what it was 10 years ago and what it is now?
Really, first is the awareness.
Okay.
A lot of people are aware, okay, even when they do law, and now, you're increasing awareness at this stage of high school stage. So
Okay.
there's a lot of awareness, and therefore there's a lot of people. When there are a lot of people, the profession grows, the quality of the profession grows.
Mm-hmm.
Like at one point of time when my boss, okay, who's now 73, he used to joke. And he used to say, his he was a pattern attorney, and people used to ask, "What is pattern? Jo design hota hai? Is that it?"
Oh, okay. Pattern and
He,
pattern. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So when he used to say, "No, no, I'm a patent attorney," then they used to, "Okay, vakilo."
Okay.
Okay, he said for a long time he couldn't find a girl until he stopped doping, patents. So he had to say only attorney till he could get a girl for being married. That's 50 years ago. That's
Okay.
not the case now. Okay, patent attorneys are highly specialized, and you can work cross border also. So we are part of many member organizations. So just by doing these conferences and other things, I have gone and I've, probably done all these conferences and meetings in say 27, 28 countries I have visited as a part of this conference. So it gives
Excellent.
you a lot to travel. Okay, that's another fun in life for people who like traveling, looking at
Mm-hmm.
various cultures, looking at various countries. So yes, in those days, who traveled? But then we travel for profession now to places like Vietnam, places like USA, places like Europe.
Mm-hmm.
That's another fun.
Got it, got it. So the key difference which you have seen is the awareness and the exposure which the profession is getting. Okay, okay. Now, given this is an opportunity for you to talk to like young minds, young people, are there any misconceptions or myths surrounding this profession which you have commonly encountered, even from like parents as well, which you would want to tackle today?
See, I would really like to say law is not for a profession. See, we are not judging anybody, but uh, and every child is different, and every child's dream is worth what they want.
Yeah.
Okay, but what people think when they enter law, any facet of law, including IP law,
Mm-hmm.
they think that they will become Ram Malani the next day.
Okay. Mm.
Okay, this is not only for this profession, this is the maximum that we are seeing with the. I go to many colleges to teach, and this is what I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, education and profession is not a 100-meter dash, it's a marathon. Okay, so you have to
Right.
persevere and preserve your strength, and the success comes, but it is a long road. So when
Agreed.
people come and tell me, I'm the gold medalist in a law school, NLSIU, Bangalore, okay, nothing less than 2 lakhs I will take as my professional salary to begin with. Yeah, some people do get into corporate life and some corporates do pay that. Okay, but you must understand there are 200 children. 2 children get it. That is what the university will advise. Okay,
Agreed.
but it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that the 198 children are all going to get that.
Yeah. True.
So that's one thing that I really would like the parents to teach the children and the children to understand from themselves that, it's going to take a time.
Yeah. And I think nothing against like the younger generation, but somehow they are exposed to these instant gratification thing. So instead of firmly believing in delayed gratification, that the instant gratification thing percolates into all aspects of life. But I think these are words of wisdom. I would say for any career, uh, reaching at a pinnacle takes time and efforts and sweat, right? Nothing comes easy or instantly. So thank you for emphasizing that, Chitra. And I'm sure that parents try to do that from their side, but when it comes
Yeah.
from professionals, it really helps, in terms of re-emphasizing the importance of working hard, especially in your initial years, but be ready to work hard throughout your journey, your professional journey, and you will make your mark. And success has like different definitions and it's very subjective term, but you will reach the right goalpost if you set your goals right and you work towards it. So thank you for that. I know we are coming close to our session, but I would also like to ask you that if at all you get an opportunity to maybe go back in time, right? What would you want to really change or kind of do differently to reach where you are, or to kind of like find the profession you are in? Anything you would like to change, or do you think that that's how it was and that's how it should be?
I make peace with my
Well
career.
said. Got it. Okay. So because your journey, I think it's very very interesting, and as we said in the start as well, like staying curious, being open minded, and determined opens many doors as such.
See, in our time, we did not have any of these counseling sessions.
Mm-hmm.
So what our parents knew and what our parents did, or friends knew, was what would determine the journey. But that was it. Okay. So now we have counselors, we have, people. So it helps better planning. Okay. So my career was not planned. Okay. If there was better planning, maybe. But then, as I said, it is what it is. So
Got it. Got it. So now I have another question. Uh, okay. So Ria is asking, can I do something in law straight after 10th?
There is a CLAT, Common Law Aptitude Test, or something like that.
CLAT,
Okay,
which is
CLAT.
again, you can sit during your
It's
grade
only
12.
in after 12th.
That's an
There are some in Delhi who are giving law as an optional subject along with sociology. Like most science
legal
students take
studies.
yoga.
So legal studies is one option, I said.
Legal studies is one option. Maybe you can try that in 11th and 12th.
Okay. So, folks, you can put your question in the common chat as well. But okay, I received another one. This is from Khushbu. Does it make a difference if I study law from UK or from India?
It does. Okay, so LLB is required to register. Okay, after LLB, you must do your Bar Council exam to register. So I would advise, not only as a professional, but also as a parent, do your UG with your home. Okay, once you are at home and you do your UG, we parents would also like to hold on to our children for some more time. Okay, and do your Bar Council exam. Your LLM, if you do it outside India, whether it is UK, Oxford, Cambridge, okay, or in terms of US, in US there is a college known as Franklin Pierce, which specializes in IP. But apart from that, many courses are highly valued in US in the second, like LLM, in postgraduate. See, in case of law, there are two type of countries. One is known as common law countries. Common law
Mhm.
countries are like mostly your Commonwealth countries where
Yeah.
it started with that of your Britain. Okay. So what are these countries? These countries say you are innocent until proven guilty. Okay. So there are one more set of countries which are mostly France, GCC, and other places where common law is not appreciated. There you're guilty until you're proven innocent. But because in India we practice common law, you go to UK, which is also another common law country, your law is more appreciated. Okay,
Yeah.
so US law is more a little different in especially IP or other places, but it is too different when you go to like criminal laws. Okay, so depending upon what you want to specialize in law, you must choose your country of choice.
Yeah. And just to add on to this point, especially if you are considering outside India, you have to be very, very careful that even if you are choosing to study law degree at undergrad level from UK universities, or to an extent, students go to Australia as well, again for the Commonwealth reason, it's always important to check whether that university and that course is recognized by Bar Council of India, because you will always want to keep your doors open. If you would want to come back to India, give the Bar Council of India exam and, like, get your license, then it can only happen if you did from a university which is recognized by Bar Council of India, and it's where the list is always given on their website as well. Okay. There are two more questions. One which I have again received from Poonamji, who is a mother of 10th grader. Which subjects you would advise to make a career in this field? Yeah, that's actually a great question, and that was one of my curated questions as well. So specifically, I believe Poonamji, you are trying to ask for grade 11th and 12th. So Chitra, what's your input there? Because law as a profession is stream agnostic. Anyone can get into law from any field. Now, we are not specifically talking about IP law, but law in general. So, her question is, what would you advise in terms of subjects?
So, any, as you said, any person, any set of subjects you can take and you can give your CLAT. Okay, I have taken science and I gave CLAT. Okay, at one point. Okay, I did not clear it. Okay, but then I come back to law. Really give at that point, NEET was my medical was my goal, so I
Yeah,
did
you
not focus
mentioned.
on law. But can give CLAT with whatever background you want. As I said, if legal studies is one of the options, you take it. It will help you prepare for CLAT. Okay, not only there are coaching classes for NEET, there are coaching classes for CLAT also.
Yeah. That's true. And if I can add one more thing from my side, like now, given Chitra already gave you a glimpse of the kind of combinations we have in terms of LLB plus say BSc, BA LLB, BCom LLB, right? So it really depends, besides the law professions, what other interest area the child has, right? So you can take your subject combinations accordingly. A person who is inclined towards economics can also sit for law, but if you're very sciencey, then you can still continue studying science and give the entrance exams for law as well, right? So it would really depend upon, like, it's a bigger conversation and may vary from child to child, but legal studies is one which you should consider taking. And besides that, you can also think of any other subject which is the interest area of child at this point of time. I know we have overshooted by 1 minute. Maybe I'll take this question from this person BG. Which is the best country to study law? If I do law in US, can I work in their law firms? The short answer is that you have to give LSAT at some point of time after your undergrad degree if you want to be in US. Now, best country to study law, it cannot be a straightforward answer. It really depends what kind of law you would want to be in, like whether you would want to be in judiciary, particularly like criminal, civil, or whether you would want to be in something else like IP law or any other specialization. So I would say it really depends. But around your particular question, if I do law in US, yes, you can practice. But again, the path is different. You have to give LSAT after your undergrad and then you get into a law degree there. Okay. So with that, I would really pause my questions, though there were like some fun questions as well. Maybe I'll just take one, Chitra, if you have a minute or two with
Sure.
you. Okay, so if you could have any one superpower, what would it be? And it's a rapid fire.
To look into the minds of other people.
Oh, wow, interesting. Okay, so one favorite book and one favorite quote.
Siddhartha by Herman Hesse is my favorite book.
Okay,
I love Maya Angelou.
okay.
Okay. And one of her favorites quote is, you may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated.
Wow,
Okay.
really, really inspiring.
Yeah. Please remember that difficulties do not define you, they simply strengthen.
Yeah, very, very well suited quote, because I know, like, this generation, they get disheartened easily. I know we are living in different times, but let's stay determined and continue with our path there. Uh, with I got a comment in the chat itself. Thanks for the clear answer. It's a very insightful session. Very impressed with the journey of Miss Chitra Arvind. So that's for you, Chitra.
Thank you
With
so much.
I think we can come to the close of the session. Once again, thank you for your time, Chitra. And I think I learned a lot. I'm pretty sure the students and parents also benefited from this session. So, again, sparing an hour on Saturday to just, benefit or provide, guidance to students, it's very much appreciated, Chitra.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, discussing with young minds. Wishing everybody that they achieve their dreams.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So have a good rest of your day and rest of the weekend, everyone. We will continue bringing such seasoned industry practitioners to our career awareness sessions, and even we host admission insight sessions, which is wherein we invite universities to give direct information to our students. It's always open to my own cohort, and we open it externally as well. So you can find all those information on our social media channels. So subscribe to that, and until we see you next time, have a good one. Bye bye.